I got another video thing. I'm gonna be just talking about the Europa League final because as I'm recording this, it's literally just happened, and yeah, I'm just gonna talk about the game and I'm gonna give my post-match thoughts. So let's get into it. Firstly, I am hella disappointed, obviously. Um, I wish that we had won the game. Uh, I wish that Pogba had scored. I wish if an AWB had scored, bruv. It's very, very, very sad, to be honest. Like, I just thought that we had what it takes to get it over the line, and we just didn't. We just didn't have the facilities to win that game. It got drawn out to the 120th minute, bruv. Like, and that whole extra time, I didn't think we were gonna score at all. Like, it was hella depressing how average we were as a team. I was thinking maybe someone's gonna pick up the game. Like, I've been watching so much of The Last Dance, and I loved how, like, sometimes Michael Jordan would just, he was crazy with it. Like, he would just pick up the ball and be like, okay, let's go and win this game now. Yeah, you know, he would grab the game by the neck and just pull his team over the line. And I was just kind of waiting for someone to do that the entire game for United, and it just never happened. We just disappeared. We faded in. Like, we were just struggling the entire game to break them down, and we tried with our crosses, but they just were not fruitful in any way, shape or form. There was no reward at the end. We just kept on trying to break them down. We were at the very beginning of the game, the energy we came in with it, we were just slow. I'm thinking, these men are sitting deep. Alright, let's move it side to side, create those crossing opportunities for ourselves. And I'm seeing Rashford get the ball, and the first thing he's trying to do is completely destroy his man and try and create that shooting opportunity. And he gets tackled the first time. I'm like, okay, well, you know what the motive is now. Don't try that again. Try and vary it up, go for a cross. And then he does the exact same thing 2 more times. And it was just like, read the room, bro. You're not going to get that finishing opportunity that you want. Move on. Focus on trying to create space so you can put the ball in for your team. And I think he did it maybe, twice for the rest of the game? And then all the other times he either got tackled trying to create that opportunity for himself. It's just very painful to watch as a fan. The game as a whole, it pretty much was just very, very depressing. But I wasn't surprised. Like, at the end, I wasn't completely ripping myself apart like most people were on the timelines screaming Ole out, because I look at this team from the bare bones at the very beginning of the season. I didn't think we were gonna be competing in finals purely because we didn't strengthen the areas we needed. The depth that we needed, it just was not there at all, and it showed in that final. It showed massively, because when the 120th minute came around, I'm looking to the bench, bruv. Like, I'm thinking, Ollie, you're gonna have to try and take a risk here, but like, there was no one there that was like, yeah, I'm happy with that change. Like, the changes that happened, what was it? It was Pogba that came off. It was Dan James that came on. I was vexed. I was so angry. Fred came on, bruv. I'm watching a Fred pivot in the last like 5 minutes of a game, and I'm supposed to like put my faith and trust into them to carry us over the line. I was like, hell no, is McFred gonna get us a last minute goal? There's no way, bro. The fact that they even converted their penalties, which, well, to be fair, I was happy with that. But like, the risks that I was expecting were, okay, take off Rashford, because he wasn't really producing as much as he could have, and he didn't really end up producing what was needed for most of that game. And I was like, try and maybe put on Ahmad for the last like 25 of the game. Try and give him, let him try and offer something different. And then maybe put Pogba left wing and Ahmad right. Wait, actually no, Greenwood would still be on it. Okay, let me try and work this out again. I wanted Ahmad to come on for Rashford. Yeah. Or maybe you could flip in, put on Van der Beek and put Pogba left wing and see how that worked. You know what I'm saying? Take a risk. Show some extra boldness. And then for the penalties, I'm thinking, okay, try and pull a Louis van Gaal here. Why don't you bring on Dean Henderson if he has such a good record? Try and bring him on. Change never happened. Change never happened. And I think De Gea had like 2 penalties where he could have saved it, but to be fair, so they're really in it. Overall, in the end, it's just it's depressing. But to come back to it, really, like the 120th minute, we look shattered, bruv. Villarreal, the changes they made, it showed because they looked the most likely to score out of the 2 teams during those what was it, extra 30 minutes or so in the extra time. And I think it goes back to the root problem. Like I said, when looking at the bench, we didn't really have any key game-changing substitutions to make, which goes back to who? The recruitment. Because if we are walking into next season with a starting pivot as McFred for insurance, because we haven't got the DMs we need to play to play Pogba and Fernandes in midfield, then my expectations are going to be the same as it were this year, to be trying to contend but not having the facilities to actually contend, and so coming up short, which is exactly what we've done. We come up short in every competition we played in, apart from the Champions League, where we didn't even get out of our flipping group stage, which is an embarrassment. Right, let me just score this. But yeah, I just think we really need to sweat out this summer. We have to go all out for the areas we need. Sancho, all of that. We have to make a decision on Pogba, because obviously he's been here and he's done what he can, but it definitely feels like he's on his way out, and I wouldn't be too down about it now. It's just it's one of those that I wish more had happened, but at the same time, it's life. Things don't always work out. You got to move on. You know what I'm saying? Can't cry about it. We have to make a decision and see, okay, if we can sell Pogba, get the money and bring in 2 quality midfielders that can progress the ball from deep and defend really well. Because McFred pivot is not going to win us any competitions. I'm telling you that right now. It really is not. The perfect example of it was the last 5 minutes of the game, bro. We struggled to get out of our own half of the ball. It was so painful to watch. Fred and McTominay just misplaced some progressive passes. But to be fair, McTominay had a really good game, actually. I can't lie. His passing wasn't... Well, it was... That's the thing. When I think of McTominay and his best attributes, you saw that today, his dribbling it out was really good, but there was definitely times where I was like, oh, pass it a bit quicker, and same with Pogba as well. Even he misplaced some really passes that I'd expect him normally to complete normally. And it was weird. Wan-Bissaka had a really good game, I can't lie. There was never really times where he had it and I was like, oh no, this is bad. He got really good crossing areas as well. I was really annoyed that we didn't actually end up scoring from one of his crosses. That Pogba header, that wasn't even from a Wan-Bissaka cross, but it was still one of those that I was like, oh, we're gonna score. And that Greenwood chance, bruv, not Greenwood's chance that he created for Cavani. I'm thinking, all Cavani has to do is shoot and it's cash money. And then he passed it, and I was like, what's he doing, bruv? That's the problem, man. United are too, we could have, or should have, or we could have, should have, would have. We need to, just get it over the line, man. So frustrating. Should have the facilities to be winning games, to be winning tournaments. I mean, to be winning trophies, bruv. Stupid that we don't. Stupid that I can keep the ball on. Stupid that we couldn't win this stupid tournament, man. Fair play to Villarreal though. They had a game plan. They knew what United's weaknesses were, and they exploited that, which was breaking down deep block. We struggle with that the most. That's the one thing that I hope Ole spends a lot of time working on with the players. Because if we come in to next season and that is the same thing that we struggle with, and he goes on about how, oh, well, we haven't really had the time to implement as much changes as he wanted and work on as much things as he wanted, I'm not going to be happy about that, because I'm seeing a man like Tuchel come in and he's implementing mad changes, tactical stuff, and the players are adapting to it quickly as well. I'm like, why can't we do that with the Wan-Bissaka, man? Come on. What's that? Because if even Chelsea had done it, so we should be able to do it, you know what I'm saying? We got the summer out now. Obviously, they got the Euros tournament, so that's probably why we might not be able to implement as much like tactical changes as we want. But I need to see more like difference from this season, next season. Like, I need to see more progression in terms of how we build up and how we try and break down teams, because our breakdown of teams this year have been so hot and cold. Like, one week it's amazing, the other week we're flipping doing up 0-0s against Crystal Palace, we're drawing to West Brom. Defensively, we need to fix up, bruv. Get in players. If it's Pau Torres, flipping Koundé, I don't care. I just want to see some new youths playing in that position, in that back four, because I don't know what it is, but we are just... defensively, we just do not look as well solid as we should be, and we need to work on how we deal with corners and set pieces in general. Because boss man, if I see us concede from another set piece in the first 3 games of next season, I'll not be happy. Especially considering how stressful the season has been, and the amount of times, like, fam, my friends were crying every single time Villarreal got a set piece. Like, they were flipping in tears, worried, because we have been so poor. We've conceded too many goals from set pieces, and it was annoying. Like, it was that bad. I was missing Maguire in the set pieces, like dropping another 3 or 4 yards just to make sure he gets onto the header. Like, I actually missed that today. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm expecting too much from an unfinished project, but I just thought, you know, we had what it takes to get it over the line and secure the win, but it seems we don't. Seems we do not. I'm saying that like I didn't know that at the beginning of the season, because I did. But the fact that we got to a Europa League final is a miracle, considering how we didn't have the facilities to win finals. The fact that we get into them was good. So, but the fact that we didn't surprise me too much, because I'm like, well, this isn't exactly the complete finished article that Ole has in mind. So just gotta wait and see. But the problem is, are we always going to be waiting? Are the Glazers always, and the recruitment in charge, always going to be like, oh yeah, we just need 2-3 more key players, and then we'll have what it takes to beat the best, every single one of them? You know what I'm saying? And that's the only reason why I'm not too hard on Ole like a lot of other people are. Like, I'm a lot more patient, purely because I feel like there's something he's trying to do here, and it's obvious that he hasn't got all the pieces in the puzzle he's in me. So I'm just kind of waiting for those to all fall into place, and then I'll fully judge him. But so in summary, this season was let's see how far we can go with what we've got, considering the people in top in ahead of us are too foolish to get all the players we need. Kind of season, that's what it was. And furthest it seems we got was a Europa League final, second place, and a semi-final in, I think, was it the FA Cup? I can't even remember how we did in the League Cup. Oh yeah, I saw we got to like the quarters or semis or something. Because we lost to City, which is annoying considering we beat them, and then lost. Yeah, I apologise, I shouldn't be conceding. I'll make changes. Do you know what, yeah? I wish that Daniel James or Ahmad had come on for Rashford in like the 65th minute. It would have been nice to see Ole's intent to obviously try and win the game before it goes extra time, because Rashford was just not performing that entire game, and I think it was just one of those things where, excuse me, sometimes it's just not your day, you know? And it was not Rashford's day at all. Nothing was coming off for it. And like, I thought Ole would like accept that and not try and risk it, but I guess I was dead wrong. Cash. If only you could score like that today, eh? If only you scored like that. Gets flipping Villarreal in real life. Waste, man. Cheers, son's crying. I'm glad Cavani scored, by the way. Baller, finisher. I think the people screaming Ole out, like, I can kind of understand where they come from a little bit, in the sense of a lot of people were bashing our style of play. And for the people that are trying to back it a little bit, you got to kind of sit back and think, how many clear-cut chances in that second half especially can you sit and think, yeah, okay, you know, on another day those all go in? There's probably like one. That's probably the what, Pogba's header that I can think of that went slightly over. There's probably maybe one other chance. There was that one Rashford had where he was offside, but yeah, even the goal, look at the goal we scored. Did it start from build up play? Did it start from like being played out the back and then we completely, did it start from us? Did we break down the defense and create an amazing goal scoring opportunity? No, it was from a set piece, bruv, and they can deal with it. You know, and it's frustrating, man. It's not even the fact that, okay, we haven't got all the pieces that we need to be playing the best football that we should be playing, but do you think we're getting the very best out of the players we have? Do you think and it's obvious that a lot of people don't think that's the case. A lot of people are expecting better they think that another manager comes in and is getting even better out of these players. I mean, I personally think this is the very best we're seeing out of most of the players we have. Obviously, not all players are going to ball every game, but I think with the style that we play, this is as far as this team's going to go in terms of, it's always going to be second best, really. It can never really win things, no matter who you put in charge, I think. Purely because it doesn't have the facilities to win trophies. Until X, Y and Z come in. Players like flipping Locatelli in midfield, Ismail Benatia, if I said his name wrong I apologise, in midfield. Maybe Declan Rice, right back, a backup right back for United, because the fact that Wan-Bissaka has played 100 games in 2 seasons is not just because he's so reliable and fit, but because we don't actually have backup right back that Ole feels is good enough to be playing as a backup right back, to be playing frequently, and to be trusted to play frequently, of course. because of course Brandon Williams plays, but because of how defensive minded he is in the sense that when he doesn't really go and try and make crosses as much. Well, to be fair, Wan-Bissaka's quite defensive minded, but just the fact that he's not as defensively solid, maybe. But yeah, Brandon Williams isn't trusted enough to be the best backup fullback. There's definitely a need for another right back, I think, personally. I would like to see maybe Dalot play a bit more, but I don't think Ole trusts him, which is understandable. And then, okay, maybe give Laird a chance next season to be the backup right back. But then again, is he ready? Do you think you should play him as a right winger instead? Backup winger instead? Yeah, there's decisions to be made. Sancho, are we finally going to get the deal over the line? Because that deal should have been done last season. I feel like if Sancho was here, this final definitely would have been different, that's for sure. I definitely think we could have won this final if Sancho was playing. Because Greenwood would have been perfect impact sub that would have come on if we didn't win in 90 minutes or something. But that's football for you, innit? If you don't rebuild and your teams correctly, then you're not going to win trophies. That's what it is. If you don't fully rebuild, if you only do 75% rebuild, 85%, you're not going to meet the requirements that's needed to win. You know what I'm saying? Villarreal made, 5 changes? Because they had the depth and they had the facilities to get their team over the line. United just didn't have that at the end of the day. That's what it came down to. Who had the capacity and the facilities to pull their team over the line and get the win? United on paper have the quality to do that, but because certain players didn't turn up on the day, because certain players got so physically exhausted, the best couldn't stay on, because we didn't, most importantly, have the squad depth to bring on players that would pull the team over the line. That's what cost us the game the most, I think. And that goes back to the Glazers. No matter who's in charge, if they cannot have all the pieces of the puzzle because the Glazers and the recruitment refuse to go out and get those extra pieces, then ultimately the puzzle will never be completed. There's only so much we'll be able to do. There'll always be that glass ceiling and we'll never be able to come out of it, which is why I think all the fans across the world need to focus their energy on getting the Glazers out the most. That should be your main focus. Doing whatever it takes, denying your season tickets if you have to, not buying merchandise, doing those ad things. I'll link the step-by-steps to that in the description. There's like this ad thing that you can do that helps the United sponsors lose money. You know, whatever it takes, because ultimately, as long as the Glazers continue to keep this mentality of only caring about Champions League football, and they don't focus on being smart with their investing in players, they don't urge the academy to start taking recruitment of players 100% more seriously and search harder, I think. Because I think if you realise, Yuri Tielemans is the perfect example. He would have fit what we needed at the time in the midfield position, the area that needed sorting, which was the midfield at the time. Yuri Tielemans would have been a perfect smart buy, not too expensive, but fits the area. We didn't make. He's at Leicester now. Do you know what I'm saying? The fact that we spent 1 billion in the past shows how bad our situation is, because we shouldn't be spending that much. We should be having smarter investment, better scouting, looking for players that aren't too big but fit the roles and fit the areas that need sorting. You know, like Calvin back in the day, we needed to deepen our squad depth. We needed more attacking options, a poacher, because it was 2010 season and we only had Rooney, Michael Owen and Berbatov as attacking options. Who did we go and get out the next year? Chicharito, bruv, from the Mexican league. He was a poacher. Sir Alex himself had gone and watched him, everything. He fit exactly what he needed. That's the kind of recruitment we need to go out and get. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully we'll get in the players that we need, and not just flipping Varane and Cristiano Ronaldo, because Varane is a good defender, even though he's like 36 or something. And right now he'll plug the gap for like 2 years. Instead, we should be going out looking for a younger centre back, maybe a Koundé, Paul Torres, whatever. If they're Botman or something, if they're not good options, and you hate me for saying that, go out and find some other young centre back. Then Tassoba from Leverkusen, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Try really hard to think. Wingers, if we don't want to fork out the 70 million for Sancho, which is understandable, okay, go out and find someone better. You know what I'm saying? Isn't better, maybe as close to that level, but he's a top quality winger. Go out and find someone, bro. Smart with the investment. That's all I want. We haven't been smart with it enough. Maguire's been alright-ish. He's obviously become an integral part of the squad, so I agree with that. But if you guys don't think Lindelof is the only other centre back apart from Maguire that's solid, I think Bailly's a bit too hot and cold sometimes. Twanzibi's a bit too hot and cold sometimes. We need consistency. Okay, got to buy a young left back that's going to be here for time and deliver that consistency eventually for a good 5-7 years. You've got work to do in the transfer window. You know, I watched The Last Dance, and one of the things I loved about Michael Jordan was when his team lost the final against the Detroit Pistons. I can't remember which final it was, maybe 95 or 94. And his response the next season was, I'm not going to let this failure repeat itself. And the whole team put work in to become stronger. Like Michael Jordan, there was a visible change. You could see he was a lot more muscular than he was in his second season than he was in his first. Like you could see that there was a difference. Shift in mentality, work rate, game plans, everything. We need that. We need this final to be used as our motivation to then go on and win a Champions League final next season, or win the Premier League next season. Win something, bruv, of substance. One of those two. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see this club touch the Europa League ever again. Champions League or nothing. Alright, but yeah, big decisions to make. But in summary, it's not a depressing final. It's not a upsetting final. It's not pull your dreadlocks out and feed it to the wolves final. It's just a disappointing final. And the real question is, why did we lose? It's okay, how are we gonna respond? Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon.